San Francisco 49ers are here at number 9, Tom. You have some interesting needs here. Of course, they brought in Jerick McKinnon, Weston Richburg, Richard Sherman as well, addressing some needs there. You got corner, wide receiver as top of the line there.
So, yes, they signed Richard Sherman, and yes, I like Ahkello Witherspoon. I am not quite sold on Sherman. I think in general, the Niners are one of the teams, and we'll mention others later on, that when we put needs up there, I don't know if they have a super pressing need in the same way that the Jets need a quarterback, or, for example, the Dolphins need a linebacker, or the Jets need a new halfback or a new linebacker. The Niners, I think, have built their roster the right way, where if they absolutely had to, they could go into the year with these guys, and they wouldn't have to add anyone in the draft. Now, of course, they're going to. Of course, they're going to look for upgrades at certain areas. So here's the way I approached it with cornerback being that number one need. It's almost just a defensive back. You can merge safety and corner together because we'll see what happens with Jimmy Ward. Jaquiski Tartt emerged pretty well. I like Ahkello Witherspoon as well. I like Richard Sherman on that. I think he can be a talented player for you if he's healthy. I'm not sure he's going to be. I think the Niners are happy with their wide receiver core in terms of Garcon, Taylor, and Marquise Goodwin. I'd like to get a younger tackle to groom behind Joe Staley. Safety, if they don't trust Jimmy Ward. Linebacker, if they don't want to roll with Malcolm Smith and Reuben Foster, if they want to get rid of one of those guys, if they don't trust Foster either. I think the Niners in general are in really good shape. They're very young, but they filled their needs with at least passable starters for the most part across the board. So, with that in mind, let's give them perhaps the best player left on the board. I think that is Minkah Fitzpatrick, and I think he'll be a defensive back for Alabama. For the Niners, excuse me. Here's how I envision the Niners using Fitzpatrick in year one. Much like Bama did last year. You put him in as the nickel corner. You put him in as the third safety, as a linebacker. Maybe you don't force him outside to being your outside corner right away. You have Sherman for at least a year, maybe multiple years. Ahkello can be your outside guy. In reality, this almost becomes your upgrade at slot corner. You upgrade over Kawan Williams, you put Fitzpatrick in on that defense. He's almost your rover. He can play some safety, some linebacker, some corner. I think he's a good fit for what the Niners' current secondary looks like. And I think that's an issue, maybe why you could see Fitzpatrick fall a little bit more than you might expect. I think there is some doubt as to where you want to play him. And if he's going to be kind of that hybrid safety corner guy, how early the pick do you actually want to spend on that situation? So I think the Niners make perfect sense for Fitzpatrick. I think it kind of fills a need, but in general, when you saw the needs up there, the Niners don't really have a ton of needs right now. They could go with another receiver, but I strongly suspect the Niners like their current wide receiver core. But that's just me.
Credit to Melvin and Nicholas in the comments section. Both called it, Tom.
All right, good.
Fitzpatrick to the 49ers, so they're on board.
That makes me feel good about the pick then.
All right, so there you go. Minkah Fitzpatrick going to the San Francisco 49ers at number 9 overall.